if you talk to somebody about Far Cry and you start discussing the sort of the campaign, I feel like you're bearing the lead there, because the best things about those is like when just insane stuff happens and you don't understand why, and it becomes your story. It becomes your adventures out in this strange world.
I did a 2-hour live stream on Monday or Tuesday this week with Chloe Rad. We played Far Cry 5 on PC, on like this really nice PC, and just like, first of all, the game is stunning. Wherever you play it is stunning. But Chloe was playing on PC, and she was just headshotting everybody because she's got that QWERTY mouse and
she's
keyboard
also
action.
stupidly good at games.
She's incredibly good at games. But we did a thing where we basically said, like, let's just walk to our mission instead of fast travel there. And our mission was specifically as far away as possible, right? And so the plan for this Let's Play was get Boomer the dog, which you can, kind of this new Guns for Hire or Dogs for Hire or bears or cougars, both the sexual womankind or the actual animal, can all join your party and go on adventures with you. And so we said, let's walk down a road. And the amount of stuff that happened in just doing that is what this game is all about. And Max, you're completely right. Push aside all of the, what is this supposed to be? Who is this supposed to be? Who is this for? Did this deliver on the promise? Is it political enough? Is it not political enough? Is it too political? Throw all that crap aside. Where this game shines is walking from A to B or Z and just watching insane things happen. In the average minute in this game, if things are going well or terrifyingly, bonkers, you will be walking down the road, a truck full of awful cultists will roll up to you. One of them in the back has basically like a machine gun, a turret gun. They spot you, this the stabbing noise plays in the air, they start firing like crazy, and then things go haywire. And so from there you decide, do I want to throw dynamite at the truck? Do I want to throw dynamite in front of the truck and headshot everyone, which is what Chloe did the other day, like multiple times? Do I want to sick my bear on the men while I shoot the man in the turret gun? And in doing all this, you start to alert other people. And some of those people are good guys who live in Hope County, Montana, and they come in and they save you and they get killed. Or other people are in helicopters, they come in. So it's just nuts, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, I had a great moment. I love it because, like you said this, we talked about this on Podcast Beyond, but you said that it has a thing called, it has jank. It's a janky game.
Yeah.
And some people are like, that's not a real word. Well, it is. It means like, what does it sound? It sounds like something that's hanging off the back of a station wagon, kind of waggling around. In the case of Far Cry jankiness, it's kind of the same. It's the same thing that like Bethesda games have, where you're like, there's something about this is a little bit goofy. It kind of breaks the immersion, but it's really funny, and you get a kick out of it. I had just a wonderful moment. It was very early in the game, and I was just kind of started doing those perfunctory. First of all, the game is great about just kind of sending you loose and being like, go have fun. And there's obviously some sort of kind of baby steps missions that they put in front of you. I was doing one of those to kind of like unlock some stuff, and somebody goes, hey, there's some bears that are on drugs, and we need you to kill the bears. And I was like, oh, there's 3 bears. I'm gonna go kill these 3 bears. It's gonna be fine. It's easy. I can take down some bears. And I go over, and there's like a little kind of area you're supposed to be in. Right off the bat, I see there's like a lady there, and she's like shooting at one of the bears, and she's like, hey, do you need any help? And I was like, yeah, sure. Here, you can help me. And you pay her, and she comes to be your AI assistant. And I go after one of the bears, and I kill him, and he blows up, and I shoot some drug tanks, and there's green fog everywhere, and the bear is high, and then it's dead, and I take its skin, and I'm good there. And then I see another bear out of the corner of my eye, and I look over, and it's just booking it across the screen. It's just bolting, like full speed. And I read somewhere that I think bears can run as fast as cars. Like they're surprisingly fast. And I'm like,
oh, in real life?
Yeah. And I'm like,
I think they run about 40 miles an hour, and cars can go a little faster.
And I was like, where the hell is it going? And so I'm running around this whole area looking for the bear, and I'm like, there's no bears here. Where did the bears go? And I'm like, well, I guess I can't do this right now. Maybe I'll come back later with bait or at night or something. And so at that point, I've already forgotten that I had this AI assistant because she's like stuck in a bush or something. And I go over and I get on an ATV. Not realizing that she hops on the back of the ATV, and I gun it. I'm gonna go do some other story missions or whatever. And I gun it, and I hit a fence, and she goes flying off the ATV and hits a tree and immediately dies. And she's like, I'm bleeding out. And I was like, oh crap, I'm sorry. And I start to get off the ATV, and I turn around, and there's a bear like right here, and it's roar, and just like mauls me, and then I'm on the ground and I'm dead, and it's like plays the banjo music, and I'm just like, the hell was that? And I'm like, I died, and some people would be like, "This is stupid. The game
It's cheap.
but it's also, it feels like it's slapstick. which
Oh,
I love.
totally. I mean, most of my deaths in that game come from being like, I can wingsuit, no I can't, or I'll parachute off of this, or I'm really good at landing this helicopter. I started following, and we followed each other, Julie Nathanson, who's a voice actress. She plays Jess Black in this game. And Jess Black is sort of an insane woman version of Link from The Legend of Zelda. And I'm not going to spoil her story at all, but all the Guns for Hire sort of have like an interesting backstory to them. Some of them you just kind of rescue, like Cheeseburger the bear, who I got very early on, and I love rolling around with that dude because he's got this like ratty looking dog collar.
He's a bear. You don't have to justify it.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I brought Cheeseburger the bear to meet Jess Black, and Jess Black is this insane archer woman, and she's telling me the story, and I don't want to spoil it because and I won't because I want you to play this game. But her story is deep and it's dark, and it's about kidnapping and child abuse and what it was like to grow up under abusive parents.
You always do that. You're like, I'm not going to spoil it. Anyway, here's some...
No, without saying anything about it. So in her telling me that story, we were traveling from section to section of the game, taking out compounds, and my bear keeps bumping into her because he's a bear. And so she's like, that's when things got horrible and they brought in the blah, 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 blah. And you know, the moment I knew, excuse me, damn bear. And she keeps going. And so I have a bear who's just running around with a collar on, bumping into her, like cutting into her like deep, dark story. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like if somebody farts at a funeral. Like it's horrible, but it's kind of funny a little bit.
I love when the AI just bumps its head against itself.
Did you hear Marty's story?
No.
Yeah, so there's a woman in the game who's sort of like, she calls herself like a cougar. And she's like a very sexual adult woman. And so all these people get out of this mission, and this thing happened to Marty, where like they're all just like, you know, it's really good. It's gonna be really nice to finally go back to some peaceful moments in our time. And somebody else is like, you know, it's been really hard out here since this cult took over, but I feel like Hope County's finally gonna get the freedom it deserves. And she goes, only thing I'm hunting is trouser snakes. And so like all of these things clash, and it's just goddamn great. I love it for that. And so that's why people are like, this game has to be more political, or it's not political.
It doesn't.
It's impossible to tell
goofy.
a highly political story while there's also bears on fire and there's hawks that you fight with grenade launchers.
I'm kind of playing it like a live-action South Park game.
Yeah.
Last night I was at a trailer park and I saw these two pink flamingos. I put a little clip of this up on Twitter, and I
saw that.
I went up and I shot them, and they both fell over, and it was just something so like in this huge world where you could blow up everything. I just like bonk, and then somebody out of like over on left field, Jesus Christ! And then someone was like, someone's shooting. Where is he? And then this truck pulls up with a mounted gun on it, and there's 3 dudes, and I gotta fight them, and I'm just running around, and one of them's like high on drugs, and he's chasing after me, and something gets set on fire. I love this. I saw this happen to somebody else, and I was like, there's no way this is going to repeat for me. Something gets set on fire, and a wild turkey comes running through the fire, catches on fire, and starts fighting these guys. And I'm like, it's a turkey. It's a Thanksgiving dinner. And it's just like, and it's clawing these dudes and mauling them, and they are like, forget the guy shooting the flamingos. We got to fight this bird. And there's like 5 dudes fighting a turkey that's on fire, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna drive away.
I love it so much.
Right
I saw a guy land a helicopter and get out to start shooting me, and a moose ran across the street and bumped into him.
I didn't even know there were mooses in this.
And so,
game.
like, the fire in this game is not the most realistic-looking fire in a video game.
I would say this is the best fire in a Far Cry game since 2.
Oh, for sure. But in terms of the way the fire behaves, it behaves like fire in that it does not behave.
Yeah.
It's just completely insane. And so everywhere you go, like, moments happen that stack on top of moments, stack on top of moments, and you're now left in this situation where you're like, what I went to do was hijack a vehicle, but by the end I basically have 5 stars in GTA multiplied by animals and fire, and it's fantastic.
It's so good.
The thing I do the most in this game, and this is by accident, is that there's these vans that drive around that have like guys in the back that are basically kidnapped, and you have to shoot the driver or stop the car somehow, which is very hard to do without shooting the driver. And then stop the car, open up the back doors, and let the guys out. And they're like, thank God, you really saved me. I hated being in that van. That sucked. And you're like, it's fine, I got you, it's cool. But what I have in that game is a souped up sniper rifle with a like extra ammunition thing on it, and also a muzzle that suppresses fire and makes it so no one can hear me. So I will hide out on the hill, and one of those vans goes by, and through the back window of the van, I will shoot a perfect bullet through the head of the person I'm trying to save and into the back of the head of the guy driving the car. So I kill the guy driving the car, but I also kill the hostage, and now there's just a car on the road, and I'm like,
no one will know. Yeah. Dude, Far
And
Cry
it's
rules.
just the best. I love this game. I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm like, seriously, that's kind of the moral of the story, though, is that the story of Far Cry is your story. It's never the thing that they write. And they do a lot of hard work on it, and people argue about it in the comments. But end of the day, it's about setting an animal on fire and then watching it fight computer men.
Thank you so much for watching our incredibly goofy video about wonderfully stupid things that happened to us in Far Cry. What happened to you? Tell us. Let us know. But in the meantime, watch this video. It's about 7 comedies that critics hated, but that are actually really funny. Critics are stupid, and I say that. I work here. I work with some dumb people, but, you know, they get it right about once every 100
Hey!
years. Not you. Also, if you love stupid things made by video game developers, you'll love this pitch we got from Suda51, legendary game developer, who pitched us the most insane Star Wars video game ever that involves a sexy Jar Jar. Watch it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends, inhale it, exhale it, and become president someday.